What if the two greatest heavyweights the world has ever seen stepped into the ring? Not in different eras, not across decades, but tonight. No politics, no promoters, no excuses, just two men in their absolute prime, fighting for something bigger than belts, fighting for history. On one side, Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a storm of violence wrapped in muscle and fury, a man who didn't just beat opponents, he broke them. On the other, Muhammad Ali, the man who shook up the world, the poet of pain, the one who danced while chaos followed. Grace, speed, courage, in human form. Two icons, two legends, two completely different energies, but one unforgettable question. What would have happened if Mike Tyson fought Muhammad Ali in their prime? Because when power meets poetry, when fear meets unshakable belief, there's no telling what the canvas might catch. And tonight, we imagine the impossible. Let's make one thing clear. This isn't some barbershop argument. This isn't just fan fiction. This is the ultimate clash of styles, the ultimate clash of eras. We're talking about Mike Tyson from 1986 to 1989. Explosive, relentless, untouched, the youngest undisputed heavyweight champion in history. A wrecking ball with a heartbeat versus Muhammad Ali from 1966 to 1967. Before the exile, before the wars, when his legs floated, when his hands were faster than your eyes, when he called himself the greatest and proved it every time. Same age, same weight, same rules, no interference, no distractions, just two gladiators walking into the same arena on the same night. It's a fight the world never got because time never allowed it. But tonight, we bend reality just for a moment and ask the question that's echoed for decades. What happens when the unstoppable meets the untouchable? Muhammad Ali, before the world knew his power, he told us exactly who he was. I am the greatest. Most laughed. Some listened, but no one truly believed until he made the world watch. Born Cassius Clay in Louisville, Kentucky, he wasn't built like a fighter. Too pretty, too loud, too different. But from the moment he laced up his gloves, he wasn't like anyone else. In 1960, he won Olympic gold in Rome, a teenager, standing on the world stage like he owned it. Fast hands, fast mouth, faster mind. He didn't just beat you, he talked to you while doing it. 4 years later, he shocks the world. Sonny Liston, the boogeyman of the heavyweight division. No one dared challenge him. Ali beat him, not just with speed, but with style, with courage, with something that couldn't be measured. He changed his name, changed the way people looked at boxing, changed what it meant to be a champion. And just when he was reaching his peak, the world tried to shut him down. Drafted for Vietnam, he said no, not out of fear, but the principle. They took his license, stripped his titles. 3 prime years, gone, but they couldn't take his spirit. He returned and fought the monsters no one wanted to face. Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Ken Norton. Wars, blood, pain. But Ali didn't fold. He took the punishment. He made comebacks. And through it all, he kept his crown as the people's champ. He wasn't just a fighter. He was a symbol of strength, of resistance, of belief. But across time, in a different part of the world, another kind of champion was being forged. Not in gold, but in fire. Mike Tyson. Before he was Iron Mike, before the fame, the chaos, the headlines, he was just a kid. A scared kid from Brownsville, Brooklyn, fighting not for glory, but to survive. Mike Tyson didn't grow up with much. No father, no peace, just streets, filled with violence, fear, and silence. But in that silence was rage, and rage needed a direction. That direction was Cus D'Amato. The legendary trainer didn't just teach Tyson how to throw punches. He gave him purpose. He gave him belief. He took a broken boy and turned him into a weapon. By the age of 20, Tyson wasn't just knocking people out. He was erasing them. Tyson becomes the youngest heavyweight champion in history. Trevor Berbick didn't last 2 rounds. Tyson's fists were hammers. His defense was a fortress. His aura, terrifying. He didn't smile. He didn't dance. He didn't talk trash. He stared through you like a predator sizing up prey. In his prime, Tyson was 37-0 with 33 knockouts. Most of them are in the first or second round. Larry Holmes, flattened. Michael Spinks, gone in 91 seconds. Tyson wasn't fighting men. He was destroying legacies. Peekaboo defense, head movement like a snake. And when he exploded, the ring shook. But deep inside, the fire was burning too hot. After Cus died, the struggle around him changed, and so did Tyson. But in that brief window, that short, violent reign, Mike Tyson was the most feared man on earth. And now, in our fantasy, he steps into the same ring with the man who claimed he was the greatest of all time. Let's break it down. Before the first punch is thrown, before the first jab lands, let's measure the numbers. Muhammad Ali, height 6 feet 3 inches, reach 78 inches, weight in prime around 210 pounds, strengths lightning jab, footwork that defied gravity, iron chin, and a mind that beat you before the bell even rang. Mike Tyson, height 5'10", reach 71 inches, weight in prime around 218 pounds, strengths fast, explosive power, blinding hand speed, peekaboo defense, and footwork designed to close the distance. Ali fought tall, Tyson fought small. Ali danced, Tyson hunted. Ali wore you down with rhythm and then punished you when you slowed. Tyson didn't wait for you to slow down. He made sure you never got the chance. Ali went the distance, 15 rounds with killers like Frazier and Norton. Tyson ended things before the popcorn was finished. Two opposite philosophies, two conflicting blueprints, one ring. But numbers can only tell you so much, because the moment the bell rings, it all comes down to instinct. And instinct is where this fight truly begins. Teddy Atlas, Tyson's former trainer, once said Ali would win. Too smart, too mentally strong. He'd survive the early storm, Atlas said, and then he'd take over. George Foreman, who felt Ali's power up close, believed Ali's mind was his deadliest weapon. Tyson never fought anyone like Ali, he once said. He'd frustrate him, he'd outthink him, but others, they look at Tyson's ferocity, his unmatched speed for a heavyweight, his ability to end it all with one punch at any second. Ali got hit. Frazier dropped him. Norton broke his jaw. Tyson? He might do more than just damage. He might finish it, but Tyson never faced someone like Ali. Someone who couldn't be scared. Someone who couldn't be broken. Someone who made monsters look human. Ali was never the strongest, never the hardest hitter, but mentally, he was unshakable. Tyson? He thrived when he was in control. But what happens when he isn't? What happens when the knockout doesn't come? When does the crowd cheer for the other guy? When the man across from him smiles through the storm? Maybe Tyson wins by early KO. Maybe Ali outlasts him and picks him apart. The truth? We'll never know. But that's what makes it beautiful. Because some fights, they aren't meant for the ring. They're meant for our imagination. Some fighters are remembered for their wins, some for titles. But Ali and Tyson, they're remembered for what they stood for. Muhammad Ali didn't just fight in the ring. He fought outside of it, against war, against hate, against silence. He gave up everything for something he believed in, and then came back, and won anyway. He didn't just beat fighters. He beat time. He beat history. He made boxing beautiful. Mike Tyson made boxing terrifying again. He came from nothing and built an empire with his fists. He didn't ask for sympathy. He didn't play the hero. He was real, raw, broken, and brilliant. He showed us what pure, unfiltered rage looked like inside a ring. And when he lost, he showed us what redemption looked like outside of it. Ali was poetry. Tyson was pressured. Ali made you think. Tyson made you flinch. Two lives, two styles, two storms, and yet they both left echoes in every fighter who came after them. When a young heavyweight studies footwork, they study Ali. When he learns how to generate power, he watches Tyson. They weren't just champions, they were eras. The bell never rang, the arena never filled, the gloves were never laced. But somehow, this fight lives in all of us. It lives in barbershops, in living rooms, in late-night conversations between fathers and sons, between dreamers and believers. Because this wasn't just Ali versus Tyson. This was grace versus grit, mind versus muscle, fire versus ice. And maybe that's why we keep asking, who wins? Is it the man who could move like the wind and sting like truth? Or the man who hit like a train and moved like a shadow? We'll never get the real answer. But maybe we don't need one, because sometimes the greatest fights don't need scorecards, they just need imagination. Now it's your turn. Who wins this fantasy fight, Ali or Tyson? Comment below. Let the debate begin.